Tuesday afternoon, October 15th. Good afternoon. It's 48 degrees in Richland Center at 12:09. For WRCO News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. Richland School District business official John Bosworth presented information about the equalized value and levy rate and property tax versus state aid. The board will set the tax levy for the Richland School District at the October 28th meeting. He reported that at this time there is just a small increase in the factors for the tax levy. The only increase in the tax levy is due to inflation. The fair market value on the tax bill is the same as the equalized value. Bosworth also gave 4 different scenarios of what the tax levy could be for the 2024-25 preliminary budget. Factors to consider are state aid, levy rate, and future years. The mill rates being considered are $8.56, $8.66, $9.12, and $10.22. Of all the townships, Buena Vista will be the hardest hit due to its 18% increase in equalized value. Many of the board members feel that the rate needs to be kept in the area of the amount that was promised in the referendum. The most popular scenario among board members was number 2, which calls for the maximum revenue and paying of $100,000 in defiance. The board unanimously approved scenario 2 at a levy of $8.66. A referendum project process was approved, which allows the Buildings, Property, and Transportation Committee members to review any bid specs and proposals and select a vendor, so long as the decision is unanimous. If any bid selection is not endorsed by all present members of the committee, that bid process would then come to the full board for action. To allow the Buildings, Property, and Transportation Committee chairperson and the district administrator to approve change orders up to $25,000, and to allow the Buildings, Property, and Transportation Committee as a whole to approve change orders up to $150,000 if the decision is unanimous by the committee. All other situations will come to the full board for consideration. Sean Josem, Director of Special Education, reported on the Check and Connect program, which is in its second year in the district. Check and Connect is an intervention used with K-12 students who show warning signs of disengagement with school and who are at risk of dropping out. At the core of Check and Connect is a trusting relationship between the student and a caring, trained mentor who both advocates for and challenges the student to keep education a priority. Students are referred to Check and Connect when they show warning signs of disengaging from school, such as poor attendance, behavioral issues, and/or low grades. School psychologist Lisa Goff said that students are not only excelling in the program, they choose to stay in the program and get involved in new activities. At this time, 16 mentors are mentoring 17 students. The ask last night was the approval of 2 additional mentors, which would allow the district to mentor 19 students. In other items, the board approved changes in special education staffing to allow a special transportation van driver and assistant and a special education reading math instructor. The formalizing of an easement between Brady and Rachel Ewing and the Richland School District, upgrades to the Richland Center High School IMC at a cost not to exceed $275,000, and the acceptance of a number of gifts to the district. There will be no school in the Richland School District tomorrow. It is an in-service day, and parent-teacher conferences will be held from 11 to 7. And the Richland School District's annual meeting and budget hearing will be held next Monday, October 21st at 6:30 in the Richland Center High School IMC. School districts can now set their tax levy. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction has posted state general school aids that districts will receive during the current school year. This release this morning of certified financial figures is based on data from the previous school year, including student counts and year-end financial data. General school aids are the largest form of state support for PK through 12 schools in Wisconsin. The DPI is required by state law to release the certified aid figures by October 15th of each year. This certified data replaces preliminary aid estimates released in July. The 2023-25 state biennial budget increased funding for general school aids for the 2024-25 school year by 4.2% to a total of $5.58 billion. Statewide, a majority of general aid is equalization aid, which is distributed according to a formula designed to help Wisconsin communities provide public education despite local differences in property wealth. The formula incorporates school district expenditures, property values, and resident student counts. The other smaller elements of general school aids are integration aid and special adjustment aid. The latter, also known as hold harmless aid, prevents districts from receiving more than a 15% reduction in aid from year to year and will go to 69 districts for 2024-25. Aid varies widely by districts based on the equalization formula. Of 421 districts, 276, or 66%, will receive more aid for the 2024-25 than in 2023-24. They include the Ithaca School District, which will receive an 8.18% increase in funding from $2.27 million to $2.45 million for an increase of $186,000. The Richland School District will receive a 14.05% increase from $10 million to $11.4 million for an increase of $1.4 million. River Valley will see a 7.76% increase from $5.6 million to $6 million for a $436,780 increase. The Riverdale School District will receive a 3.9% increase in funding from the state from $5.4 million to $5.6 million for an increase of $213,000, and the Boscobel School District will see a 2% increase from $6.2 million to $6.3 million, an increase of $124,690. 137 or 33% of the 421 school districts in the state will receive less funding this year. This includes the Kickapoo Area School District, which will receive a 3.98% cut in funding, from $3.4 million to $3.26 million for a decrease of $135,600. General school aids are paid in 4 installments during the school year. Aid amounts for each school district can be found on the department's School Financial Services webpage. Minnesota Governor and Democratic Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz kicked off a busy week in the battleground state with a rally at UW-Eau Claire. Walz says he believes the race for the presidency will be won going through Wisconsin. Walz also spoke on the importance of getting young people out to vote. The campus stop was Walz's 5th in Wisconsin since being selected as vice president, Kamala Harris's running mate. Republicans are sensing an opportunity in Wisconsin's closely watched Senate race. They are pouring money into the campaign, even as Democrats insist a tight race was to be expected in the battleground state. Democrats' hopes of maintaining majority control of the Senate hinge partly on Senator Tammy Baldwin turning back the challenge from millionaire Republican challenger Eric Hovde, who is backed by former President Donald Trump. The influx of Republican spending on the race has gotten Democrats' attention in the race's final weeks. They've increased their spending on ads, too. Kicking off the Driving Forward Blue Wall Tour, Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz was in Green Bay Monday.
You had a Lions fan, a Packers fan, and a Vikings fan up here. The only thing more amazing is we got Bernie Sanders, Dick Cheney, and Taylor Swift all on the same ticket.
In the remaining 3 weeks until the presidential election on November 5th, candidates are pulling out the stops to drum up additional support in a tight race.
That's why under her leadership, we're investing in America's people once again. Today, there are more factories getting built, more American energy is being produced than on any given day when Donald Trump was president, and that's a fact.
Kamala Harris returns to Wisconsin Thursday with visits planned in La Crosse, Milwaukee, and Green Bay. We've got our first widespread freeze warning of the season coming overnight. It'll hit much of Wisconsin, including us in the southwestern part of the state. That means the growing season is coming to an end. If you've got plants you've been keeping alive, you'll want to cover them before you go to bed tonight or bring them inside. Pets feel a cold snap just like humans do, so be aware of that. We're expecting a low near 30 degrees. The freeze warning starts at 1 and ends at 9 tomorrow morning. As the weather turns colder, remember to keep safety in mind when using heating in your home. Keep portable heaters 3 feet away from anything flammable. Always plug a space heater directly into a wall outlet. Do not use an extension cord. Be sure to test your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms and replace batteries if needed. Now is the time to get involved if you want to help with hurricane relief. Red Cross of Wisconsin Executive Director Katherine Halverson says 94 Wisconsin Red Cross volunteers and staff members deployed to help with cleanup after Hurricane Milton. Halverson says the best way people can help is with financial donations, but they can also volunteer to help virtually. More information on ways to help can be found at the Red Cross website, redcrossblood.org. The American Red Cross also continues to work to restock critically needed blood products. Donors are encouraged to make an appointment to give now to help keep the blood supply stable. 2 blood drives are being held today. The first is being held until 2 at Baraboo High School. The second is being held until 4 at the Linden Station Fire Station. Blood drives will continue throughout the week. A blood drive will be held tomorrow from 9:30 to 2:30 at St. Cecilia Parish Center in Wisconsin Dells. Thursday, a blood drive will be held from 9:30 to 1:30 at the American Legion Hall in Waniwak, and a blood drive will be held from 11 to 5 Friday at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Baraboo. Appointments are appreciated by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or online at redcrossblood.org. Richland County Clean Sweep will be held Saturday from 8 to noon. Clean Sweep is a limited-time collection of unwanted, unused, or damaged agricultural or household hazardous waste and pharmaceuticals. This program collects, treats, stores, or disposes of waste in an environmentally safe method through a licensed hazardous waste facility. Hazardous waste can usually be identified by products labels which contain any of the following words: caution, warning, danger, poison, toxic, ignitable or flammable, acid, corrosive, or reactive. Materials that will not be accepted at the Clean Sweep include prescription medications, explosives such as ammunition and fireworks, human, medical, and biological waste, infectious waste, household sharps, latex paints, radioactive materials, compressed gas cylinders, shock or heat-sensitive materials such as ether, peroxide, or picric acid, recyclable motor oil, fertilizer, tires, asbestos, antifreeze, or alkaline batteries. Farms and households may bring any amount of hazardous waste for free disposal. Materials should be properly identified with their original labels. Do not mix materials together. Doing so can be extremely dangerous. Pack materials for your safety. Place materials in a cardboard box lined with a plastic bag. Separate each product with a folded newspaper. If a container is leaking, put it in a secondary leak-proof container. Pack containers in the trunk of your vehicle away from the driver, passengers, and pets. Unknown materials can be brought in, but Richland County and its hazardous waste disposal contractor reserve the right to refuse any material. Items may be dropped off at the Richland County Clean Sweep Saturday from 8 to noon at the Richland County Highway Shop on Bowen Circle in Richland Center. Celebrate Creatures of the Night at Fall Fest, a free fun and family event at the Aldo Leopold Nature Center. The annual fun-filled night of spooky activities in a not-so-scary style will be held Friday from 5:30 to 7:30. It will feature activities indoors and out. Attendees are invited to dress in costume and participate in a costume parade, conduct sweet science experiments, hear not-so-spooky stories in the haunted shack, discover what's hiding in the boneyard, hike torch-lit trails, roast marshmallows of a campfire, meet real-live creepy crawlies, take a hike through the prairie, and participate in the nighttime nature bingo and hoot and howl under the moon. This event is free for all and features a free shuttle from Ahuska Park. Food carts and s'mores will be available for a fee. For more information, call 608-221-0404 or go online to aldoleopoldnaturecenter.org. The Richland County Community Services Building and Health and Human Services will be closed tomorrow for staff training day. The building will reopen at 8 Thursday morning. For concerns involving crisis situations or to speak with a crisis professional, call the Mental Health Crisis Line at 888-552-6642. For concerns involving child abuse, neglect, and welfare, call the Richland County Sheriff's Department at 608-647-2106. The Riverdale One Act cast and crew members will compete and perform at the District 10 One Act Festival Saturday at Reedsburg Area High School. The group will perform When Bad Things Happen to Good Actors by Jason Pizzarello and Ian McWethy. Cast and crew members include Abe Schaefer, Ezra Noble, Cadence McGraw, Alex Schneider, Nora Wolf, Braylee Bedward, Vivian Benedict, Adrian Rush, Delaney Imhoff, Archer Imhoff, Ben Brummer, Sienna Deglow, Movana Zarbach, Brandon Meese, and Destiny Bonds. They will perform at 2:30 at the Reedsburg PAC prior to Reedsburg at 3:30 and Barneveld at 4:30. The shows are free admission and open to the public.